If you know caballo, biblioteca, mariposa, but you still can't have that conversation in Espanol, this is why. I wasted years memorizing useless words. Because here's the truth, it wasn't that I started off with bad resources or lack of effort. I started with the wrong focus. And if you've been learning or studying Spanish for months or maybe even years, but you still can't speak the language confidently, this entire video from beginning to end will save you a lot of time. By the way, soy Profe Don Omar, and I've been teaching Spanish for 25 years. Now I help busy adults just like you go from hola to full conversations in Espanol without the stress. Now I used to spend countless hours memorizing vocab lists and reviewing conjugation charts, mainly for like classwork or homework grades, but when I had to speak, my mind went completely blank. I was like a deer in headlights, you know what I mean? And it wasn't that I didn't know the words, I didn't know how to put all the words together to utilize them in a conversation. That's when I realized something. Fluency doesn't come from knowing Spanish, it comes from using Spanish. So what I know now, you have to feed your mind in Espanol. So the first thing that I would do if I were getting started learning Spanish, I would listen to simple Spanish every single day. Simple, mind you. We're not talking about speeches. We're not talking about entire novelas that you're watching on Telemundo or Univision. We're talking about simple Spanish, baby. But we also want it to be slightly challenging as well. Why do you ask? ¿Por qué? If the content is too simple or too difficult, you either end up too bored or too frustrated. It's going to be one of the two. But these listening moments are what we call comprehensible input. Basically, what that does is it trains your brain to naturally absorb the Spanish that you're hearing. Check the description below for some of my favorite options when it comes to comprehensible input activities. I've got a couple of YouTube channels that you can check out, as well as some other items and resources that I have. So the moment it all clicked for me, it goes back to when I was studying abroad in Guadalajara. Basically, I was completely surrounded by Spanish all day, every day. I'm talking about from the street signs to the music to the food, people chatting at lightning speed. And that's when I realized something. I was in a position where I had zero time to think about what's in this conjugation chart or what vocabulary word should I use. I only had time to respond within the moment. So for the first few days, I stumbled a lot. But by the end of the second week, something wild happened for me. I wasn't just translating in my head anymore. I was just talking. That's when I realized the key. The brain learns languages through exposure and repetition, not through explanation. Look at it like this. I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch or how many books you read on how to swim. The only way you're actually going to learn to swim is when you jump into the water or when you get into the water, right? And for me, in my situation, I had been standing on the pool deck for years. So the number two thing that I would do, I would build sentences, not study rules. Instead of memorizing yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. Instead of learning those verbs in the conjugation charts, I would focus on phrases with those verbs. Check it out. Hablo español todos los días. I take that one sentence and change up 1 to 2 words every single day. But what you're doing is you're building your phrases up. Here we go. Por ejemplo, escucho español todos los días. Leo español todos los días. Habla español todos los días. Escuchas español todos los días. Lees español todos los días. ¿Entiendes? Hey, if you're gaining value from today's video, be sure to like it, hype it, and share it with someone you know that's also trying to become a more confident and better Spanish speaker. Now, let's get back to the rest of the video. So coming in at number 3, I would speak out loud, even when you're alone. See, fluency grows through sound, not in silence. So what I want you to do is record voice notes, voice your actions or movements out loud. Essentially, what I want you to do is do a play-by-play of your daily routine or your life. These things may seem small, but these babies work wonders. I mean, you could do something as simple as talking about your daily routine. Mira, me despierto a las 5 de la mañana. Yo me levanto a 5:10. Yo hago la cama y me ducho o me baño a las 5:30. Me cepillo o me lavo los dientes a las 6 menos cuarto o 6 menos 15. ¿Entiendes? Coming in at number 4, I track my reps and not my results. Check it out. It's just like if you were going to the gym. You don't see change after one workout at the gym, but what if you do 30 speaking reps per day for 30 days? In as little as 2 weeks, watch how your Spanish voice appears. A good example of this would be reciting a personal introduction. Does not have to be grandiose, does not have to be long. You just start out with 2 simple sentences. Mira, hola, me llamo Omar, soy de los Estados Unidos y vivo en Carolina del Norte. Just that simple. 2 sentences, repeat those 30 times a day for 5 days. After that 5 days, add 2 more sentences. And now what you're doing is you're repeating those 4 sentences 30 times a day for 5 days. And then rinse and repeat. After just 1 month, you could be up to 8 phrases that you know. Over the course of a year, you could know at minimum 96 phrases. It's a lot of phrases in Espanol, and put them in conversational context. Hey, check this out. If you don't know what phrases to actually implement as a beginner, I have created the Ultimate Power Phrase Program. It's 96 beginner phrases arranged in context for basic conversation, plus recorded video where I walk you through the pronunciation and when to use and how to use these phrases. I even provide a game plan on how to maximize your growth on these phrases and much, much more. So click the link in the description below to get your copy today. Now, let's get back to the rest of the video. So the 5th and final strategy that I would implement would be join a community. It could be online or in person. No me importa. But virtual communities tend to work better for the convenience of our busy schedules. And the good thing nowadays, they're easy to find. Personally, for me, I waited too long to find accountability. And that's what joining a community is going to be for you. For me, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, my community was random people on the streets that were native speakers. But the problem with that was I never knew when that opportunity was going to present itself. So basically, my practice was sporadic, to say the least. However, by getting involved and being active with the community, you are preparing yourself for greatness with the language. So doing these 5 things early would have made me fluent way faster. Now, if you're looking to join an online community and you don't know which one to choose, you can check out more information about my Zero to Hero community by clicking on the information in the description below. So let's recap. Don't chase perfection, chase practice. Don't memorize rules, memorize moments. Don't wait until you feel ready, speak until you become ready. Mira, the earlier you start using Spanish, the faster your brain wires itself to think in it. And trust me, you'll look back and say the same thing I did. I could have spoken Spanish years ago if I would have just started speaking sooner. So as we begin to land the plane, I want to leave you with a Profe power tip. And today's power tip is this. Don't measure your fluency by how much you know. Measure it by how many conversations you start. In other words, each conversation is a step closer to gaining confidence and fluency in Espanol. Mira, you don't need perfect Spanish to sound natural. You need consistent Spanish to sound fluent. Now, if you've got all 5 of these strategies down and you're ready to move to the next step, I want you to check out this playlist right here where I get you started from square one, and I'll see you over there. Soy Profe Don Omar, your guide on how to speak Spanish now. Nos vemos.